Some human smugglers have found a new way to bypass border security. They are cloning US Border Patrol vehicle to illegally transport migrants and contraband into the United States. These fake vehicles almost look identical to the real government trucks, complete with official looking paint job, fake logos, and even drivers dressed in Border Patrol uniform. This tactic allowed them to slip through checkpoints undetected, making it harder for law enforcement to differentiate between real and fake agents. Well, let me tell you, this isn't a very brand new idea, but it has become more common as the Trump administration has intensified its crackdown on illegal immigration, shutting down pathways that were previously available for migrants to enter legally. Under President Joe Biden, the CBP-1 program allowed migrants in Mexico to schedule appointments at legal border crossing to request asylum. However, Trump shut down this particular program, leaving many migrants with fewer legal options to enter the US. This has pushed many into the hands of human smugglers who charge huge sum of money, sometimes as much as $7,000 per person to help them cross the border. Some migrants, like those from Honduras, has planned to enter the US legally but turned to smuggling networks after their appointments were cancelled. In fact, one migrant said, "I don't want to come in illegally, but Trump can't take the American dream from me." His story reflects the growing desperation of migrants who are now resorting to dangerous and illegal methods to enter the country. The cloning of Border Patrol vehicle is not just used for smuggling people. It is also used to transport drugs, weapons, and even trafficked migrants also. In a recent case in Arizona, smugglers took a Ford F-150 pickup truck as a Border Patrol K-9 unit and attempted to smuggle 24 Mexican nationals into the US. The driver was also dressed like a real agent, making the whole thing really hard to detect. Similarly, in California, a group of smugglers cut through the steel border fence and loaded 17 people into a fake Border Patrol truck. Now, these incidents shows how smugglers are becoming bolder and more sophisticated, forcing law enforcement to work even harder to catch them. But hold on, despite all these tactics, Border Patrol agents and local law enforcement have been catching more fake vehicles. In one case, officers spotted a suspicious-looking van traveling on a highway in February 2024. Upon investigation, they found out that the vehicle was a cloned Border Patrol vehicle and 18-year-old US citizen was arrested for smuggling. In another case, a Florida man was pulled over for driving a truck that resembled a Border Patrol vehicle. But instead of saying Border Patrol, it read Booty Patrol. While the driver was not involved in the human smuggling, the police issued a warning about fake government vehicles being used for illegal purposes. Vehicle cloning is not the only trick that smugglers are using, by the way. Some are also digging underground tunnels between Mexico and the US, allowing them to move drugs and people across the border without detection. These tunnels can be extremely advanced, with lighting, ventilation, and even underground rail tracks. The US Drug Enforcement Administration has reported that most illegal drugs enter the US through vehicles at the border entry point, but some also come through these secret tunnels. The combination of fake vehicles and underground tunnels make border security really challenging in near future as well. Adding to this, beyond these illegal migration, these smuggling operations create a major human rights crisis. Many migrants don't even realize that they are being smuggled illegally until and unless it is too late. In some cases, they became victims of human trafficking and they are forced into labor. And even they are kept in very exploitative conditions once they reach the US. Some migrants are abandoned in remote areas without food or even money, while others are extorted or forced to work for criminal organizations. Legitimate asylum seekers are also affected by these illegal activities because they make it harder for the US to create fair immigration policy, leading to stricter rules that hurt those who genuinely are fleeing danger. Here, experts believe that only way to tackle this crisis is through better coordination between Border Patrol, state law enforcement, and legal experts. They argue that stronger security measures need to be in place at checkpoints to identify fake vehicles before they enter the US cities. Additionally, greater efforts are needed to dismantle smuggling networks, as these operations are not just about sneaking people across the border. They also fuel organized crime, drug trafficking, and exploitation. However, as Trump's administration continues to tighten immigration policy, smugglers will likely come up with even more different methods to avoid detection. The situation at the border remains complex and the debate continues. Should the US invest in even stricter border security, or should there be more legal pathway for migrants to enter safely? While authorities work to stop smuggling operations, migrants are left to decide whether to take the dangerous and costly risk of entering illegally or to wait for legal options that may never come. The coming months will be very important in shaping how the US handles these challenges.